What if I told you there's a village in Nepal where people are found without their heads? And the explanation involves an ancient curse that modern college students actually witnessed firsthand.
You know, when most people hear stories like this, they immediately dismiss them as folklore. But what makes this one different is the detailed documentation from educated witnesses.
The fascinating part is how this story begins so ordinarily: a college student named Surendra returning home for a festival with his friends. They had no idea they were walking into what locals call the territory of Murkhutta.
Well, that first morning must have been absolutely terrifying, waking up to screams and chaos in what should have been a peaceful village celebration.
What's particularly compelling is how the villagers weren't even surprised. They'd seen this before: victims found with surgically precise neck wounds. No signs of animal attacks, just clean separation.
The historical context really adds another layer to this. That abandoned house at the edge of the village belonged to a wealthy landowner who apparently used tantric protection for his wealth, right?
Exactly. And here's where it gets interesting. According to local records, the landowner's family vanished without a trace. The servants fled shortly after, and then the break-in happened, someone trying to steal the supposedly protected wealth.
Hmm. And that's when things really started to go wrong in the village?
The uncle in the story explained that the protective spirit became corrupted when its sanctuary was violated. You know what's fascinating? The person who broke in is still alive but completely unable to speak about what happened. They literally pass out when questioned.
The transformation of these college students from skeptics to believers is what really drives this home. They went from mocking village superstitions to arming themselves with kitchen knives.
Their night visit to the house reads like something from a horror novel: complete silence, that rusty swing moving in an empty courtyard, and then, well, their encounter with that severed head with eyes that blinked at them.
The way they describe the headless figure in the courtyard, it's unlike any ghost story I've heard before. The precision of the details, the specific patterns of movement.
And here's what makes this story different from typical folklore: these weren't uneducated villagers seeing shadows in the dark. These were college students who documented everything in detail, including their strategic escape when they had to time their movements perfectly.
The psychological impact on the village is remarkable, how they've adapted their entire lives around avoiding this entity, even changing their travel routes.
According to local police records, there have been 17 similar cases in the past decade, all with the same precise wound pattern, all unsolved. The medical examiners can't explain how the heads were removed with such surgical precision.
That's what makes this story so compelling. It sits at this intersection of traditional beliefs and modern documentation.
The village has actually seen a 40% decrease in population over the last 5 years, people literally abandoning their homes to escape whatever this entity is. The economic impact has been devastating.
So, what you're saying is this isn't just a ghost story, it's actively reshaping an entire community.
Exactly. And here's the thing: 3 different research teams have tried to investigate, but none have been able to complete their studies. Equipment malfunctions, team members fall ill, and in one case, all their data mysteriously disappeared.
Well, on that chilling note, I think we should wrap this up before dark.
Indeed, and remember, listeners, next time you're walking alone at night, maybe stick to the well-lit paths. Some ancient protectors don't take kindly to trespassers, and Murkhutta is still out there, waiting for its next visitor.